everybody, Mntdewmania here, and welcome back to Vox Populi. This is Friday. You guys know what that means. It is Rant Day. And I have got a good one for you, courtesy of my son. Now, my son totally denies this. He says he doesn't remember finding the word, or giving me the word, or, finding out about the word. He did. This is him. Okay, so whatever he says, I'm just saying. So we are on the letter K. If you are keeping up, I sincerely hope you are here in season 6. K is for kibitzer. 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 Now, you're probably asking yourself about right now, what in the world does that mean? I am going to tell you. The handy-dandy dictionary, thank God, says that kibitzer is a giver of uninvited or unwanted advice. Now, I can promise you that at some point you have been a kibitzer. I know I have, simply because I'm a mother. Mothers give unwanted, uninvited advice. That's what we do. We're mothers. We can't help it. We are wired that way. But we have all been on either side of being a kibitzer, I think. I think we have all given unwanted or uninvited advice. I think we have all received unwanted and uninvited advice. And the reason this word fits so perfectly right now is because of two incidents that have happened just here in the last week. One, of course, being a hurricane, a very big hurricane. And another is, if you follow Philip DeFranco, or the DeFranco fam, I do. I'm a huge fan. Don't always agree with everything he says, but I do enjoy watching his news show. And I follow Lindsay on DeFranco fam. Okay, she's just saucy. I like her, and Trey is adorable. Well, now there is a new baby, and congratulations, by the way. And little Carter came into the world. And I am just about 125% sure that somewhere along the line of this pregnancy, somebody was a kibitzer to Lindsay. And that is one of the big targets, I guess, the big draws for a kibitzer: pregnancy. And I can attest to this, because when I was pregnant with my first baby, if it's your first, you are always very nervous and scared because you've never went through it before. So when people, mothers of 1, 2, 3 plus kids, give you advice, you tend to just lap it up. Now, the problem with this is, first of all, every mother is different. Every body is different. Every person on the planet is different. What happens to one person necessarily is not going to happen to another person. 9 times out of 10, thankfully, babies are born nice and healthy, and everything goes just the way it's supposed to go, and it's okay. And every once in a while, unfortunately, things do go wrong. Things do happen. There's nothing we can do about it. Some things are just, it is what it is, and you have to deal with it. The problem comes in when everybody else tells you how to deal with it. And it's never good. It starts out good. Oh, everything's going to be all right. Just, relax and blah, 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 blah. But when I was pregnant, and then we have to hear about, 45 hours of labor, and, it gets to this, and I almost died, and and the Earth stood still, and I think part of Pluto exploded. It just seems the more they get into the story, it's just this tragic, horrible thing. But everything's fine. Okay, well, here's what you need to do. Here's what I wish I'd have done. And then they go into another, and I'm not saying that everybody does this, but I think and I did it. I've done it before. Somebody new, somebody young. Oh, how did everything go with you, and how. And of course, you want to tell your. I don't know why mothers are so happy to talk about tragic stories. Oh God, I was in labor for and it was horrible, and I had to, I'm just like, now that I look back and think about it, I'm like, good Lord, that's that's awful. I should have told a new mother that. But we do it, and it's not just things like that. It's like the other thing I want to talk about was like the recent hurricane, Harvey, and then Irma right on top of that, and people who live in those areas have probably, a lot of most of them have been through storms before, and they now. Of course, now Irma seems to be standing out as just like the worst in history. So they might not have been through a storm like Irma, but if you live in areas like that on the coast, eventually you're probably going to get caught up in some kind of hurricane. It's just inevitable. If you move to California, you're probably going to experience a earthquake. The thing is that sometimes people who have never experienced these things before jump in with advice, first of all, that it's probably all wrong, and second of all, that nobody asked for in the first place. And it's like, I don't know, what is it about, and I'm including myself in this because I've done it. What is it about us that is it because we want to share stories? Do we want to? Why do we just jump in the middle of something when we probably don't even, first of all, know what's going on? And even if we do, it's just a little bit, and it's certainly not enough to give people who have been through it probably multiple times any kind of advice. Oh, I tell you what, man, if I was there, I'll tell you what I would have done. Yeah, but you weren't there. And if you had been there, you probably wouldn't have done none of that. Everything sounds big and brave. I tell you what, man, if I'd been there, I would have. No, you wouldn't have. Oh, if I'd have been there, he'd have been, people can talk and give all kind of advice that they want to, but standing on the sidelines looking in is totally different than having been through it or going through it. And some people don't have a clue what they're talking about, and shouldn't, even if they did, they probably shouldn't be given advice anyway. And like I said, I count myself in this because I've done it. It's like you just want to, I don't know, I guess you want to connect with something or somebody. You want to be part of, you know what it is? I think it is. You want to be part of somebody else's story. It's like, I don't know. It's like a bragging point or something. Later when everything's okay, oh, I told them everything. You ought to live. I gave them some wonderful advice, and they followed my advice, and everything came out, okie dory. And I tell you what, I know what I'm talking about. No, you don't. Shut up. It's just, I really do think that we want to be important in somebody else's life. That's the only thing I can think of that would make us a kibitzer. And just think about that. Think about your kids or your best friend or, something like that, and think about how much advice you give. And then think about, okay, seriously, are you qualified to give that advice? Meaning, have you been through exactly the same thing they're getting ready to go through and can, certainly relate and empathize? And second of all, did anybody ask for that advice? And, if they didn't, are you going to butt out or still give it? There you go, guys. K is for kibitzer. I thought this is a very unique word. I'm giving total credit to my son. I am pretty sure he gave me this word. He swears he didn't, but I think he did. So he gets the credit for it. So put down in the comments below for me, are you a kibitzer or are you the victim of a kibitzer? Which side of the fence are you on? And I will see you next time for the letter L here on the 6th season of Redneck Rants. Wow. And the sun has gone down. The moon is coming up. I am so out of here. Later, guys.